But because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid.
That's what we're seeing on the news, day in and day out. Come on.
I will call together all the king of the earth.
What y'all have to see, what you see happening in Syria and Iraq, is what we're reading here. Behold, saith God, I will call together all the kings of the earth. Come on.
To reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun.
Go ahead.
From the south, from the east, and Libanus.
Libanus is Lebanon.
To turn themselves one against another.
So God's plan, his program is to have these nations fight each other. Let's say it again. God's plan is to have these nations fight each other. Read.
And repay the things.
Listen good to this. And repay the things
that they have done to them.
Write this down. To them is the Israelites. Everything that you see in the news is a direct judgment for what the nations did to the blacks and the Latinos and the Native American Indians. We are the Israelites. It is going to say it crystal clear. Read.
Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen.
So what you see happen to Trayvon Martin, what you saw happen to Michael Brown, Kajim Powell, the Most High said, I'm not asleep on none of that. I see all the injustice.
The book of Exodus, chapter 35 and verse 3. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day.
See that? We ain't supposed to kindle fires. Does that mean we can't light a lamp if it was a fire lamp? No, this is what it's talking about. Give me Exodus 16, start at verse 22.
Bring it all up.
So you got to understand, precept must be upon precept. Because some Israelites read that and think you can't kindle no fire, period. It's talking about something. Read.
The book of Exodus, chapter 16 and verse 22. And it came to pass that on the 6th day they gathered twice as much bread, 2 omars for one man.
See that? They were gathering twice as much bread because the next day was going to be the Sabbath. So they had to have enough. Because remember, this is when the Most High rained down manna for them to eat in the wilderness. They already went against his rules one time and tried to keep more than they were supposed to, so he made it right. So this time, he told them to do it the right way Moses did, and so they ended up doing it right. They gathered twice as much, meaning what? They Sabbath prepped. They were preparing for the Sabbath. They knew they couldn't gather on the Sabbath, so they gathered twice as much the day before the Sabbath, so they can have food for the Sabbath, right? Come on.
Hey, John, and all the rulers of the congregation came and told Moses, and he said unto them, this is that which the Lord hath said. Tomorrow is the rest of the holy Sabbath unto the Lord. Bake that which ye will bake today.
See that? He told them to bake what you're going to bake. Bro, don't pay attention to her. He said, bake what you're going to bake today, right?
And seethe that which you shall seethe, and that which remaineth over lay up for you to be kept unto the morning.
So, seed, the word seed means to boil. So he was telling them to cook before the Sabbath hits. Because on the Sabbath, there ain't no cooking. Because remember, they were in the wilderness, so in order for them to cook, they had to kindle a fire. Right. So when he said, don't kindle a fire, he was telling them, don't kindle a fire to cook. Because you got to think about it. In that desert, it gets cold at night. You think they weren't kindling fires to stay warm? They just couldn't use it to cook.
It's so dry and cold.
Right, but they couldn't cook. So on the Sabbath, you can't work. What have you learned that you can't do on the Sabbath so far?
That you cannot, like, light up.
You can't cook, meaning what? Microwaves, stoves, barbecue, nothing, right? And then what else?
Fire.
Right. What else though? Can't work. Can't work on the Sabbath. You can't do no work. No working out, none of that. No exercise, nothing.
You can't, brother, but
right.
I'm saying you can't, like, cook, you can't work, you can't.
Right.
You can't
okay, you follow me.
light a
All
fire.
praises. Okay, you follow me.
Exactly.
Nehemiah now. So now we're going to learn another ordinance of the Sabbath.
Teacher! Get out!
You know what I'm
The book of Nehemiah, chapter 13 and verse 15. Whoa. In those days saw I in Judah some treading wine presses on the Sabbath, and bringing in sheaves, and ladding asses, as also wine, grapes, and figs, and all manner of burdens, which they brought into Jerusalem on the Sabbath day. And I testified against them in the day wherein they sold victuals.
See that? Because they were coming to Jerusalem to try to sell stuff on the Sabbath day, right? And so Nehemiah in the spirit, he started testifying against them, and he started growing them. He started correcting them, right? Come on.
16, verse 17. Then I contended with the nobles of Judah and said unto them, what evil thing is this that ye do, and profane the Sabbath day?
Because what they were doing was they were selling and buying on the Sabbath day. And Nehemiah told them that was evil because that was an ordinance not to do so. We're not supposed to be buying things on the Sabbath day. It's a day of rest. It's a separate day from all others. We are supposed to celebrate that day by resting. That's the most important day that God created. That's the first holy day we were ever given. Give me Genesis 2 and 1. I'm going to show you. That's the first high holy day that was ever given. Read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 2 and verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it.
Blessed the seventh day and separated it. That's what it means to sanctify something. It was separated. So this is the Sabbath. You blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, it is time to wake up and return back to the laws of God. That's why we are in these low conditions. That's why we are in the ghettos. That's why we went through slavery. That's why we still have drug addiction running wild through our neighborhoods. That's why our family structure is broken. Because the man isn't taking his place as the head. He's running around creating babies with every single sister he can run up in. It's time to return to the laws of God and restructure ourselves and come back to righteousness. For far too long we have been told that we were nothing in America. When the Bible says you are the greatest people to ever see this earth. The earth was made for your sake. How you doing, bro? My brother, how you doing? You good? You sure? You know who you are? Who are you? Who are you according to the Bible? I know, I want to dialogue with you.
A Hebrew.
You're a Hebrew? From what tribe?
Don't know that.
You don't know that? You want to learn today? You got time?
Listening.
You got time?
Brother, are you coming back?
Yeah, probably in a month.
In a month?
Yeah, we're from Seattle.
I'm out here.
All right, bro. You got a flyer?
I just got a flyer. I just live across the street, brother.
All right, somebody give him a flyer. And then get that brother over there a flyer. Get that brother a flyer.
Is this the one?
Yeah, I'll praise. I'm talking about him over there listening. Yeah. All praises. So, all right, bro. Give us a call. We're building up a congregation down here. That's what we're down here for. Hey, my man, what's your name, though? I didn't get your name. I'm Mattathias. John? All praises. All right, John, look, we're going to show you what tribe you are, all right? Give me Genesis 49. Because the prophecies in the Bible lets us know exactly what tribe we're from. We're going to show you real quick. Yep.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 10. Verse 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
See that? It says Judah, the top tribe, is the top tribe in Israel. It says we're the ones that the rest of the tribes are going to praise. You think about everything the so-called African American does in America, everybody tries to follow our trends. They even get surgeries to try to look like us their rest of their life. Butt injections, breast implants, all these things that are not natural going into the body just to try to look like our women, just to try to look like us.
Right.
Because we're the praise of the world. Everybody wants to be like the so-called black man and black woman. And we just do everything better. It's in us. Read.
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies.
What that's going into the hand of our being in the neck of our enemies. Who led the freedom fighter movement? Who led the civil rights movement? Who's the one speaking out against oppression here in America the most? It was the so-called black man. Our hand has always been in the neck of our enemies. We're always the one going at these devils that have been oppressing us. Sister, more power out of the pants and putting on a dress. That's where the real power is at. Read.
Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah is a lion's whelp.
A lion's whelp is a very young lion, a strong lion. That's how Judah was. We were in the streets marching, fighting for our rights. But then something happened. Come on.
From thee, pray, my son, thou art gone up. He stopped thee. He couched as a lion.
So we couched as a lion, meaning what? We were fighting for our rights. We were going against this evil system. We led the civil rights movement. You get what I'm saying? That's how we were couching as a lion. We were strong against in the face of our enemies.
That's right.
And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
See that as an old lion, because we became old like an old lion. We became downtrodden. We became infested with drugs. They did everything they could do to destroy the Black Panther Party movement, the civil rights movement. They killed off all our leaders. And then they infested our neighborhoods with drugs and guns. We don't manufacture the guns, but why is there so many guns in our neighborhood? Why is there so many drugs in our neighborhood and we don't got the planes and boats to bring it in? It's all by design. This white man has done everything to keep the black man down in America. But the word of God has roused us up. We can go through the Bible and see where the people in this book.
Bring it out.
This Bible belongs to nobody but the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. This is our Bible. This is our salvation. When Christ cracked that sky as a black man, you guys got hell to pay for what you've done to the children of God. Best believe you guys got hell to pay. Everything you did to us, you're going to receive double. Thus saith the Lord God. Give me Revelations 2.
Bring it on up.
You're from the tribe of Judah, the same tribe Christ himself comes from.
That's right.
You won't find this image in the Bible. This is not a biblical image. That's not a biblical image. You won't find this in the Bible. Who taught you blacks and Hispanics that this was Jesus Christ?
Bring it out.
Who taught you Negroes that this was your God? Your slave master did. Yeah, make this go viral. Put it on the internet. Because this is the best thing our people can learn. Put it on your Facebook, put it on your Twitter, put it on YouTube. This word's going to go out, and it's going to flip this thing right side up. Because right now, everything's out of order.
Jeez.
You blacks and Hispanics are at the bottom of society because you break God's laws. We are in a rebuild a nation, whether you're here for bear. Because 1/3 got to be saved. The other ones can drop dead. We are here looking for the third, and that's it. Give me Revelations 1:14.
Bring it out.
Hold that and get Isaiah 29:13. Because you guys, I need that up. We're going in today. Read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 29 and verse 13. Wherefore the Lord said, for as much as this people draw near me with their mouth,
Because that's all you blacks and Hispanics do. I love Jesus. Jesus Christos. I love the Lord. All that's jibber jabber. You do it all with your mouth, but you don't really love God. Come on.
and with their lips do honor me.
You guys give the Lord all kind of praise, but you ain't praising the right Lord. You're praising the white Lord. Read.
But have removed their heart far from me.
But your heart is so far away from God, you don't even know that you're supposed to be keeping His laws. You don't even know who you are as a people. Oh, I'm African American. What part of Africa do you come from? I don't know. You don't know who you are. You're walking around without an image. You're walking around without knowledge of self. You've been told you were niggas and spicks for too long. You are the children of the Most High God.
That's right.
Read.
And their fear toward me is taught by the precept of men.
Of who?
Of men.
Who taught you Negroes who God was? Your slave owners. And they gave you this false image.
Right.
You will not find this in the Bible.
That's right.
We're about to play a game right now. We're about to play a game called, is this right or is it just another white lie? Read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
That's strike one. He don't have white woolly hair like the Bible says. Come on, that's strike one against that image.
As white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
The Bible said Jesus the Christ had eyes as the flame of fire. Let's see why he had eyes that were a flame of fire. Let's see why Jesus, the black Messiah, had red eyes. We're going to get it out the Bible. Not the precepts of man, but the precepts of the Most High God. Read.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
Jesus the Christ drank wine in moderation. That's why he had red eyes as the flame of fire. Let's get back over there. Read.
Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
His feet were like fine brass. It's a derivative of brass. Jesus Christos es no blanco. He's moreno. He's black. Bliggity, bliggity black. Let's see how black Jesus Christ was.
As if they burned in a furnace.
The Bible said Christ was so black that he looked like he got burnt in an oven. That's how Jesus Christ is described in the Bible. This is not Jesus the Christ of the Bible. You were taught this during slavery. They forced this image upon you, and when you didn't want to serve it, they put you to death.
That's right.
And so out of fear, you pass that BS down to your children.
Right.
And they passed it down to their children. But we are here to clear up all confusion. The smoke and mirrors is gone. You got the prophets back in the earth, and we're going to teach this Bible. Thus saith the Lord.
That's right.
It's time for you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to wake the hell up. You are the Israelites of the Bible. Give me Deuteronomy 28.
Bring it out.
That was, give me hold Deuteronomy 28, go back to Daniel 9:11. Because there's the biggest secret in the world has been kept from you Negroes and Hispanics. And we're going to bring it out today. Read.
Daniel 9:11.
The book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law.
All you blacks and Hispanics have been living like heathens. You guys came and got brought to America, got conquered over here, and you started living like the same people who conquered you.
Right.
Like heathens. We were given laws to govern us as a nation by the Most High God.
Right.
Read.
Even by departing, that they may not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us.
What curse was poured upon you Negroes? Hold that. Give me Deuteronomy 28:68. How did the black man get to America? Because he was cursed of God, and we're going to read it out of the Bible.
That's right.
Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
With what?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
God said he was going to bring you Negroes and Hispanics back into captivity on cargo slave ships.
Right.
That is Bible prophecy. That is the curse that was poured upon us for breaking God's laws.
Hang it out.
Read.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
And that's why you Negroes ain't never been back to your homeland. You don't even know where your homeland is.
Right.
If I ask you where you're from, you're going to tell me Africa. You are from Israel. Your forefathers is Isaac, Abraham, Jacob. You are the Israelites, according to the Bible.
That's right.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
And when you Negroes got off them slave ships, the Bible said you will be sold to your enemies. If you Negroes and Hispanics didn't know, the so-called white man is your damn enemy. They've never liked you, they've never loved you, they've never treated you as equals. Think segregation, think slavery,
Right.
think colonization.
Bring it out.
They've done everything that the Bible said they would do to you for breaking God's laws.
That's
And you
right.
guys haven't even caught on to the fact that you guys are the children of God. Why don't no other people go through what we go through? Because no other people was given the laws of God to govern them.
That's right.
God don't give a damn about nobody else.
Right.
He says if I ain't chastening you now, you are a bastard. There's no such thing as God loves everybody. God loves one nation of people, that's you blacks and Hispanics and you Native Americans.
Right.
Read.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
You guys were getting sold as slave men and slave women. Jesus Christos es negro. Wake up, you Israelites. Wake up, you Mexicans, you Hispanics, you Puerto Ricans, you Native Americans, you Hondurans, you Jamaicans, you Negroes. It's time to repent and turn back unto the laws of God. Go back to 9:11. 9:12.
The book of Daniel, chapter 9 and verse 12. And he hath confirmed his words which he spake against us.
Those words he spake against us can be found in Deuteronomy 28 and Deuteronomy 33 and Leviticus 26, I mean. Those are the curses he poured upon us as a nation for breaking his laws. Read.
And against our judges that judged us by bringing unto us a great evil.
What is that great evil he brought unto us? The white man. That's the great evil. The white man. He poured the curses out on us through the white man. The one that guns us down in the streets. The one that redlines us in our communities that we can't get certain properties. Predatory loans. All that. Systematic racism. The ones that had you in shackles and chains until they destroyed you spiritually and mentally. That's the great evil he brought up against us. He's kicking our ass with the white man. And we don't even realize it. We just walking around honky-dory in America, loving it. Talking about some kumbaya. Yeah, when the Lord come by here, he's bringing destruction.
That's right.
You ain't ready for the Lord to come back yet. You got to get right. It's time to wake the hell up.
to return to the Father. Oh, nation of Israel, it's time to return to the Father.
Now why they trying to make it so hard to serve God? And why when I say that I'm a Jew it sound odd? For years I've been walking around saying that I'm a black man. I ain't saying that no more, it sounds wrong, man.
This is Bishop Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. Please subscribe to our YouTube channels. Stay up to date with our latest events, music, and classroom lessons. IUIC plans to continue visiting different countries where this gospel has not been preached before. IUIC needs your help in pushing this truth. So join us. Subscribe to our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and podcast, and stay up to date with us. For more information, please visit www.israelunite.org.